coronavirus has a silver lining that Tories can take advantage of to achieve their manifesto pledge, a cabinet minister said today. Therese Coffey predicted the pandemic would make it more straightforward to level up across the country because the government has had to step in and provide so much support. Despite wage subsidies being drastically scaled back from October 31 and a looming recession, the Work and Pensions Secretary vowed to ensure every part of the UK gets to benefit from our response. Some 42,350 people so far in the UK have died within 28 days of testing positive for COVID-19. Ms Coffey's comments are the latest glass-half-full assessment of the pandemic at the Tories' virtual conference. Health Minister Lord Bethell said yesterday, "I think it will be like the Olympics when it's all over and we look back and reflect, we will actually be extremely proud of ourselves." Close quote. And Boris Johnson said COVID had illuminated all sorts of problems to fix, and come the spring the opportunity will be massive. Ms Coffey suggested the pandemic could make it simpler to level up the economy, a key Tory pledge to boost hard-hit regions of the UK. Asked if the pandemic and recession would make the levelling up agenda harder, she replied, "Well, actually I see in a way one of the silver linings of the cloud of COVID is it may well make it more straightforward to level up across the country. I'm conscious that there's actually been quite a national impact, some very sector-specific elements like aviation and the aviation industry more broadly, not just people travelling on holiday. And I do see this with the ongoing investment by the Chancellor, by the schemes unveiled by the Prime Minister and Gavin Williamson last week, about how we can actually genuinely take the opportunity to try and help people with the skills so we can have that higher productive element as an economy, which is satisfying, because ultimately people have happier lives when they have a home, when they have a job, and when they have their health and friends. And it's those 3 to 4 areas where I think we can really take advantage, in perhaps what might seem a bizarre way, of making sure every part of the UK gets to benefit from our response to this coronavirus. And all the investment that is happening right across government, I think, leaves us in a good place to make that happen." Close quote. Deputy Labour leader Angela Rayner said, "These are shameful comments. There are no silver linings for the tens of thousands of people who have lost loved ones and the millions whose jobs and livelihoods are under threat." The Prime Minister should apologise on behalf of his party for these comments. Chancellor Rishi Sunak gave a more downbeat assessment today, warning hard choices lie ahead and he must balance the books. Mr Sunak will end the furlough scheme on October the 31st and replace it with one that only subsidises viable jobs on up to 22% of wages. He said, close quote, "If we argue there is no limit on what we can spend, that we can simply borrow a way out of any hole, what is the point in us?" It came as Ms Coffey defended universal credit, which has soared from 3 million to 6 million claimants during the pandemic. At one point there were more than 100,000 new claims in a single day. Despite problems with verifying people's identity, she said UC had performed well, and older systems would have fallen over. But she added, "Frankly, at one point it felt a little bit like on that Wallace and Gromit film with the penguin, where the train's going round and Gromit is laying the tracks in front of the train." Close quote.